6:30 p.m. I will now call this regular meeting of the Coralville City Council to order on October 11th, 2022. Could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Knutson? Here. Gross? Quinn?
Present.
Jones?
Here.
Goodrich?
Here.
All council members except Councilmember Gross are present. I do believe he will be coming shortly. He's at the school board meeting tonight. But all council members except Councilmember Gross are present, as is the mayor, the city clerk, the city attorney, the deputy city administrator, and several other staff in the audience. I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Moved by Huynh,
Second.
seconded by Jones. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
The agenda is approved. On to item number 4. I have a very special proclamation to read this evening. This proclamation is for Coralville's Sesquicentennial celebration. Whereas on October 3rd, 1873, Coralville officially became incorporated as a town in Johnson County. And whereas from a population of 300 at the time of incorporation, Coralville's welcoming and inclusive community has swelled to over 23,000. And whereas Coralville pride that was so evident among our early settlers continues throughout all members of our community. And whereas a milestone such as 150 years should be acknowledged with deserving pageantry. And whereas it will take an entire year to celebrate all that has been, all that is now, and all that is to come. And whereas October 3rd, 2023 will not only mark 150 years of incorporation, but be a commencement towards a bright and exciting future. Now therefore be it resolved that I, Megan Foster, Mayor of the City of Coralville, do hereby proclaim a year-long celebration of the City of Coralville's Sesquicentennial. And I invite all to join the many activities commemorating this 150-year milestone through the upcoming year and celebrate all that it has been, all that is now, and all that is to come. Signed and sealed on this 11th day of October, 2022, Megan Foster, Mayor. Okay, and we have some folks from our 150th, our Sesquicentennial Committee here with us this evening. Would any of you like to say a few words at the podium?
Good evening, Mayor and Council and staff. I'm Rex Brandstatter at 2159 Lindcrest Drive. Coralville, I come to you as a Coralville resident, a Coralville businessman, and last but not least, you're a Coralville historian. So I would like to say that what an exciting evening. We are here on the forefront of our 150th year as a community known as Coralville. We became incorporated as a town in 1873, and we think we're the only Coralville. I have heard rumors of one in Australia, but I have not ever confirmed that. So we'll go with we are the only one. From our humble beginnings, with the main attribute being next to the river, to our current status as the most exciting, dynamic, and forward-thinking and acting city in the state of Iowa, we stand here today to look back to 1873 era. Our path includes a little town full of people who worked honestly, tirelessly, and in the hope that Coralville would be a great place to live, work, raise a family, and enjoy our attributes, like Coralville pride, as we have called it, in my opinion, since 1873, and I will document why throughout the year. Beginning with the 2-room schoolhouse. Remember, everybody else had a 1-room schoolhouse. We had 2. To not having 1 but 2, but 3 active mills in town with lots of hardworking employees, to the first convenience store, in my opinion, in the state of Iowa. We'll talk about that during this next year. To our residents voting to allow a railroad and passenger service to come to town. By a 35-3 vote, who voted against it? I want to know. To the mayor authorizing the burning down of the town jail for lack of use. That would be a good reason not to have a jail, but 2 weeks later, of course, we needed the jail. To a raucous whole town discussion and rift for school bond issues. I didn't say school merger. That had nothing to do with the city. School bond issue, which was the private Coralville Elementary School. Church meeting sites. That involves the old town hall. Lots of history there. We'll talk about that. Holding on during the Great Depression and World War II, and fending off some neighbors who would control our water systems, try to impede our sewer system, and challenge our destiny to expand. We have not only survived as a community, we have grown, we have prospered, and done well as a great place to live and work and raise a family. We are the only city, according to my historical facts, we are the only city in the United States that has an original member of the first city staff still on staff today. In the first course of business in 1873, the new town council accomplished the following. The first 5 ordinances adopted by the town council were this. Number 1, provided for the election of a town treasurer. Might as well keep track of the money. Number 2, provided for licensing of businesses. Therefore, probably started an inspection system at the same time. Number 3, regulated the sale of malt, spirits, and vinous liquors. Might as well get that right on out there, right on the front. Number 4, defined differences and of offenses and provided for punishment thereof. And ordinance number 5 provided for licensing of billiard tables and bowling alleys and any tables used for the purpose of playing games of chance. So they covered booze and gambling right off the bat the first night. It is interesting to note that the Coralville could count among its businesses in 1873 a paper mill, a flour mill, a woolen mill, a blacksmith shop, wagon shop, meat market, lumber yard, grocery store, and yes, 4 saloons. That's the way it was in 1873. So off we go into our 150th year celebration, armed with good people and good ideas for the future. Keep your eyes and ears open during our upcoming year for some great programs, great remembrances, and good old recollections of the days gone by right here in Coralville, Iowa. Off we go to our 150th year on planet Earth. Thank you, and away we go, Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. Stacy, would you, I know you have someone that you're keeping track of out there.
Well, I don't know if there's any.
Look, I've been there, I get it. I've got
Yes,
5
I
of them.
appreciate everybody's grace as my husband and I divide and conquer sometimes.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how I can follow that, Rex. Thank you so much. But I just wanted to say my name is Stacy Hausman, and how honored I am to be able to serve as co-chair of this executive committee. I am a lifelong Johnson County resident, but I am a new Coralville resident. So I am very thankful to be able to share and grow about how wonderful this community is as the best place to work, live, and play. So thank you.
Thank you. And the other co-chair is Councilmember Goodrich. I love seeing everybody
Mayor.
look after the little ones.
Oh,
That's community, and I love
and
it.
that's what our community
That's
is,
right.
and I really look forward to that as we go about this year of celebration that will bring in everyone, families, young and old, new people, as well as people who weren't here probably celebrating the 100th, but really celebrated the 125th anniversary. And so we're excited now for the 150th. And just look forward to everyone being involved. We don't expect the city of Coralville to do it all. They do a great job many times. The employees get roped in or whatever to all our festivities and so on, but we really look forward to lots of volunteers. And so I look forward for people to go on the website, coralville.org, and then it's Coralville 150. There's a web page there, and you can sign up and get involved. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Absolutely. Yep. We will get a photo with the proclamation. I think John's coming out to take that photo. All right, so everybody, come on up. You too, Keith.
I was hoping I could just skate around the picture.
All right, up here, yeah. And yes, Stacy. All right. Yeah. Yes. Thank you. All right. I will give you the proclamation since Stacy's hands full. Yes, yes. Thank you, everyone. Okay. All right. The next item on the agenda is community comments. This is a time for members of the community to speak to us about items that aren't on the agenda or items that are on the agenda but are not subject to a public hearing. Each speaker will have 5 minutes, and we do reserve the right to adjust both the individual speaking time and the overall comment time based on the number of speakers that we have or based on any accommodations that a speaker might need. So would anyone like to speak to us this evening? Yeah, head on up to the microphone and state your name.
Hello, good evening. My name is Christine Berry,
And I'm Joan Johnson.
and we're here today on behalf of Johnson County Group of Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America. Gun safety is on the ballot here in Iowa this year as voters consider a constitutional amendment. Iowans, of course, have the right to own a gun. We have the U.S. Constitution that guarantees that. This amendment doesn't do what it says it does. It's funded by out-of-state special interests who put profits over people. And instead of protecting our rights, this confusing amendment will weaken our current laws, make us less safe, and even put law enforcement in danger. This ballot measure will make it even harder for police and other law enforcement officers to enforce the law and to do their job.
The ballot will read, "The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. The sovereign state of Iowa affirms and recognizes this right to be a fundamental individual right. Any and all restrictions of this right shall be subject to strict scrutiny." Strict scrutiny is not in the U.S. Second Amendment. Strict scrutiny is what makes this amendment very different and very extreme. The gun lobby claims that strict scrutiny amendments restore the right to keep and bear arms, when what they really do is threaten public safety laws, forcing judges to apply the highest judicial standard when analyzing firearm-related laws. This standard is not required by the Supreme Court's recent decision. Only 3 other states have a similar version of strict scrutiny: Alabama, Louisiana, and Missouri. All 3 of these states rank in the top 5 for highest rates of gun deaths in the U.S.
In Louisiana, after strict scrutiny passed, a convicted domestic abuser challenged the constitutionality of state law prohibiting the possession of a firearm by people convicted of a misdemeanor domestic violence crimes. After strict scrutiny amendments passed in Louisiana and Missouri, convicted felons challenged state laws that prohibit felons from possessing firearms. At least one lower court found that Louisiana's laws prohibiting felons from having guns was unconstitutional. Fortunately, the Louisiana Supreme Court reversed this ruling. This extreme approach would invite frivolous litigation, undermine decades of case law in the state courts, and put in jeopardy many moderate, common-sense gun laws. Here's what's at stake here in Iowa. Iowa's current laws keep felons from having firearms, keep perpetrators of domestic violence from having firearms, keep guns out of schools, keep restrictions on machine guns and other offensive weapons. These are types of laws, if challenged under this extreme version of the Second Amendment, might be declared unconstitutional. This proposed amendment would also restrict future legislatures from passing future gun safety legislation. The bottom line is this proposed amendment won't make Iowa safer.
We're here today to ask the City Council to take a stand for gun safety, make a statement or pass a resolution in opposition of this dangerous gun amendment called Public Measure Number 1. Let voters know this proposed amendment is too extreme for our schools and families. Turn the ballot over and vote no. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much for your statement. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to us this evening? Okay, moving on to item number 6. We have a public hearing for the Iowa River Landing License Agreement. This item would allow Celio LLC to enter into a 3-year license agreement for 920 East 2nd Avenue, Suite 150 in the Iowa River Landing District. I will now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone that would like to speak to us about this? Are there any written comments? No written. Okay, I'll now close the public hearing, and we will consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the disposition of property and approving a license agreement with CELO LLC, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Knutson, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Nguyen. Any questions or discussion on this item? Okay, roll call, please.
Councilmember Quinn,
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes with Gross absent. Item number 7, Iowa River Landing Development Agreement. This is a public hearing. We have a developer that wishes to purchase this property in the Iowa River Landing from the city and plans to build a multifamily residential project, and we have Councilmember Gross here with us, joining us. You're not that late. It's very good.
I heard I missed a picture, though.
That's it.
That's
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah, that's the only
Photoshop
thing.
me
Yeah.
in, draw me in. Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Sorry.
Fantastic. Okay. So I will now open the public hearing on this item. Is there anyone that would like to speak to us? Are there any written comments? No written. Okay. I will close the public hearing, and we will consider the resolution.
Resolution approving the disposition of property and approving a development agreement for a portion of Outlot B, Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, First Edition, Coralville, Iowa, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Gross, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Jones. Any questions or discussion on this item?
Yeah, I'd like an explanation. This one, I hadn't heard anything about.
Sure. This project's been going on for 3 or 4 years. The first rendition of this project was going to put townhomes on this property. This property is basically the furthest west portion of the south parking lot of the Hyatt Regency. I gotta get that right. I apologize for that. And then when that was this next rendition is basically. They're going to put a multifamily residential building up instead of the 9 townhomes. The townhomes design was proving was proving a little challenging here. So basically, what will happen is this will take up just a little portion of the west portion of the parking lot. Plus, this is where it's right across from where like King's Auto is on that side. So basically, what will happen is there'll be a curb put in to show this lot, and there'll be another entrance off the Conference Center Drive, which is the drive between the south parking lot and the condominium project, the Riverbend condos to the north. I think it's Kanomi. It's on that corner. So basically, this will be completely separate from the lot. So anybody who uses the lot will go through the normal entrances to the lot. Anybody who will live here will be going into a separate entrance that will be totally blocked off from the parking lot. So this is basically, the development agreement is basically a purchase agreement. They'll purchase this for $10 a square foot, and they have to bring back the PUD, and all the site plans still have to come back to the council for approval. This is just until that's done, there will be no deed for this property taken until everything has been through this. And there is, this time, there is no tax increment financing. It's just basically a property sale, and they'll build the project.
And we don't have any information right now about, the price points of the units or anything like that.
No, but that's all.
Coming.
We've seen versions of it, but it's all going to come through the.
Yeah.
This is just the first step of going through that whole process. Like I said, there will be no conveyance of this property until everything is done with the PUD and everything is the council. Like I said, and there is no assistance being provided to this project either.
Yep, so very early stages, and there's a lot yet to come.
So this is one of the first steps, which is a 30-day hearing, and for any alternate proposals, and get this step out of the way, and then there's plenty more chances for the council to see this project. Dave will bring it back to us when it gets submitted. I would assume it will get submitted here shortly after this step is done, either 1st November or 1st of December, I would guess, and then we'd bring it back for your review at that time.
Great, thank you for that. Any other questions?
I had a question. I stopped to see you, Dave, yesterday, and you were gone, but I talked to Scott and about this. So is the rest of this outlot B, will that be, is the goal to sell that as well at some point?
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't have the answer to that.
Okay.
At some point, there was only this front part, and there were some plans to go around the backside, but the rest of the parking lot, I don't believe is.
It'll stay as is.
Okay. So
Okay.
I believe, like I said, I think there was some more to the riverside, but I don't know
Yeah,
what the
okay.
status of that is at
Okay.
this point.
If you'd like, I can see what I can find out for you, though.
Yeah, okay.
What about the impact on parking there? I know we've been concerned a little bit about parking, and this will take up a fraction of that lot.
I think it'll take up, there's going to be a little reconfiguration because there's some islands there and they have to put a curb in. I think it'll take up 12 to 15 spots that are there
that
now.
all it's gonna be?
And it's the farthest away from the entrance to the conference center exhibit hall there.
Are they gonna have parking on the first floor?
So they'll have, each unit will have, or they'll be at level. It won't be underground, it'll be at grade.
At level parking like all the other buildings?
Yep, and then they'll obviously have some surface parking too, but that'll all be separated from the Marriott lot. So anybody who lives there can't come and take up our parking because they still have to, or they can if they want to pay for it, but they'll have a separate entrance with separate security to get into that entrance. And so Vicki Robrock has looked at the layout here, and she is happy with this because she can do her snow removal, and they will do their own snow removal and maintenance separate from Vicki, so she doesn't have to do anything additional for this project.
And can you comment on the $10 square foot? Is that close to market rate, or?
This has been in there for 3 or 4 years. I mean, this is how long I've been working on that, so I'm not quite sure where the price came from. It's been that way since we started. I believe Parkview was started at 12, but Parkview also put in, so Parkview has assistance also. But remember, Parkview also put in all the roads and the streets up there also.
That's near Von Maur.
I'm sorry, I should have.
West
Parkview is
or
the
east of
apartments to the
Von
west,
Maur.
to the east of Von Maur. The second building's going up now.
Yeah.
That's Parkview,
Yep, sorry, I should have.
but they had to put streets in.
Yes, they did.
Okay.
And we have, this is not a lot that this is a lot we have owned since Edgewater. Yeah, this is the Edgewater, this was part of the original Edgewater Park property also, so it's not something we bought from another individual, paid a bunch of money for either.
And have we had any other interest on this property? It
Not
sounds
that
like-
not that I know of.
Okay.
I don't know, I don't always see every person who inquires, but not that I know of.
Yeah.
I haven't received any development inquiries on this property.
You know, part of this agreement is somebody else could come in,
Right.
but they had 3 or 4 days to do that.
Oh, no, they had 30 days.
30 days.
Yeah, so we published the notice, you actually have 30, that's why we get this step out of the way first, because it's a long lead time. It was actually published probably 35 to 40 days from the date of this hearing. So anybody could have come in with a proposal for, all that was put in there was a multifamily residential project. Somebody could have come in with a different proposal or a different price they wanted to pay for the property and say, I'll pay you $15, but I'm gonna put in this much. We've had a couple times where we've had this happen at Old Town. We had 2 proposals, and at where Riverview Square, which is the old right north of Clear Creek, where Gary Watts did the 3 buildings there. We had 2 proposals there too. So this is the same process we follow with those properties. So at this time, nobody else showed any interest in for a proposal for this property.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that overview. Okay, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Gross? Aye. Wynn?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 8, parcel south of Oakdale Boulevard and west of Jones Boulevard. This is the second consideration of an ordinance. This was a request by the Oaks family, and this will change the land use map for a 25.64 acre property located in the west land use area to medium residential. And this would allow a residential townhome development between 6 and 16 dwelling units per acre. Could I have the ordinance, please?
Ordinance number 2022-1012, an ordinance amending the Coralville Community Plan to reflect certain property generally known as a 25.64 acre parcel south of Oakdale Boulevard and west of Jones Boulevard in the West Land Use Area, Coralville, Iowa, to be designated medium-density residential use in place of mixed use and corporate campus use. Introduced for adoption, second consideration by Councilmember Wynn, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. Questions or discussion on this item? All right, could I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Goodrich?
Aye.
Knutson?
Aye.
Gross? Aye. Wynn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Ordinance passes its second consideration, all ayes. Item number 9, fitness space renovation for the Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Convention Center. This is for renovating the fitness space at the Hyatt, and the public hearing for this item will be on October 25th, 2022. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution setting a public hearing on the plan, specification, and estimate of cost and form of contract for the fitness space removal for Hyatt Regency Coralville Hotel and Conference Center, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Jones, seconded by.
Seconded by Knutson. Questions or comments on this item?
Well, I guess I'm just, so this is moving the fitness center, right?
Yes, as part of the Hyatt renovation that we're going through, they do require a larger fitness space than what we currently have. And I think that that's also something that we're hearing from guests, that it's more of a focus than it used to be. The fitness center, people really have higher expectations than they used to. So we were not able to get the space we needed on the east side of the hotel where it's currently located, so it's going to move to the west side. We'll be relocating some of the offices and consolidating those a little bit. And I think overall it's going to make a real nice improvement to the fitness space.
Will the pool move then too, or does it stay?
The pool does not move,
Okay.
no. There'll be some added space for observing the pool area in the older fitness area.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, can I have the roll call, please?
Councilmember Knutson?
Aye.
Gross?
Aye.
Wynn?
Aye.
Jones?
Aye.
Goodrich?
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 10, permanent drainage easement and trail crossing agreement. This is for, this agreement is for rights to build a trail crossing over Morrison Creek Drainage Way and for the city to maintain the drainage way by inspecting it and mowing it. This will connect the trail at Applewood Condominiums to a new proposed trail on the east side of Morrison Creek to Northwest Junior High. And we have our Parks and Rec Director Sherry Prout here to give us just a brief overview.
Thank you, Mayor Foster. I think you explained it really
Yeah.
well, though. The area west of Northwest Junior High, Morrison Creek Drainage Way, we refer to it, was constructed in the late 1990s to help convey water from the 10th Street area, help those homes that were experiencing flooding backyards and flooding basements, kind of like what we did here not so recently, or recently on the 5th Avenue, 6th Avenue area behind there. So at that time, we could not find in the records that we memorialized the care of that drainage way, so that is included in this particular agreement, as well as the ability to construct a crossing across the drainage way and connect to a trail then to Applewood. So, and then if you've been over there recently, Northwest Junior High already has their sidewalk already placed in, over, and across, and this really helps students from that west side of this area, Apadama, the 9th Street, that area, to get to school. And we see those kids crossing and jumping already, so this will really create a safe crossing for them.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for that overview. Could I have the resolution, please?
Resolution approving a permanent drainage easement and a trail crossing agreement with the Iowa City Community School District in regards to a trail crossing over the Morrison Creek Drainage Way, introduced for adoption by Councilmember Goodrich, seconded by.
Second.
Seconded by Gross. I'll just start by saying I think this has been a long time coming. I've heard about, so this would rectify the situation that we've heard from the neighbors. The neighbors have often requested a bridge.
Yes.
So this would.
Yes, this would. So what we
solve
are
that.
looking at, Zaid Al-Swami, our assistant city engineer, is working on this project with me as well. And this would take and create a culvert space for the water to continue to pass through, but a trail that goes across. This has been in a couple different iterations over the years, from Eagle Scout projects to some other ideas. And I think finally we just said, let's go ahead and make this a city project.
Sure.
And incorporate it into what we do here.
And I'm assuming the neighbors, because I know the neighbors have been very active and you know, having conversations about that. I assume
Yes.
they've been communicated with and they're aware that the project
Yes, the
is moving
Applewood condominium neighborhood actually requested, they're the ones that are very vocal about requesting this. And we did have them take action at their condominium association meeting, formal action to request this connection, since it is connecting a trail on private property.
Yeah. Well, we used to live on 10th Street, and I know that my kids used to leap over they were always back there,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
and
a really neat, there's a lot of people that like to walk along there as well. It is a pollinator habitat that's been in place since the late 90s. There's some really nice foliage in there. It's really neat to see the plant material that we've grown and watch it evolve over the years, from different kinds of wildflowers to grasses to just what's there is pretty amazing.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Can I ask a
Any other
question, Mayor?
questions? Yeah,
So
absolutely.
is this, just to confirm, this is a city project totally, or will this go out to bid?
It will get estimates, yes.
Yeah, so there will be a bid.
Yeah,
So
we're
we'll
at that,
see-
this is the easement phase.
Yeah, right.
And then we're finishing up a few things on the plans with Zaid, and then we will be getting an estimate. So the clock is ticking here this fall. It may not get installed until spring, but we're working
Yeah,
towards
okay.
that to bring back.
Can you ballpark it for us?
ballpark the estimate? I cannot. We've got a couple possible ideas on trying to bring the cost down, so yeah, I don't have that yet.
Great, thank you so much. Any other questions? All right, roll call, please.
Councilmember Gross.
Aye.
Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Resolution is approved, all ayes. Item number 11 is a board appointment. I would entertain a motion to accept the recommendation of appointing Amy Gosnell to the Community Policing Advisory Board. And this is the also the recommendation of the NAACP. This would be their representative on the board. Who would like to make that motion?
So moved.
Moved by Gross, seconded
Second.
by Nguyen. Do we just do a voice vote? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, the appointment is approved. Item number 12, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Mayor, I would like to to ask council to consider a motion to approve the consent calendar, item A to O. Thank you.
All right, moved by Nguyen, seconded by?
Second.
Seconded by Goodrich. Could I get the roll call, please?
Councilmember Quinn.
Aye.
Jones.
Aye.
Goodrich.
Aye.
Knutson.
Aye.
Gross.
Aye.
The consent calendar is approved, all ayes. Item number 13, Deputy City Administrator's Report.
Good evening. We'd just like to encourage people to get out and enjoy the beautiful fall foliage we've had this year. It's just been gorgeous. And also to note that something that we've talked about quite a bit over the past few years, the sidewalk or trail connection from Highway 6 to the Tom Harkin Trailhead. That work will be starting. They're hoping to get that completed from the trailhead to James Street this year. So that will include some closures off and on and here and there, but we are hoping to get that part of the work done this year and then from James Street to the highway next year. So an important connection to the trail system coming soon.
Fantastic. That is great news. Okay, item number 14, Mayor's Report. I have a few things. First, I know I mentioned this at the last meeting, but just wanted to remind folks that this weekend on Saturday, the Domestic Violence Intervention Program is hosting Shop for Shelter. This is our largest in-kind donation drive of the year. We collect 9 months worth of goods at our Shop for Shelter event. So that will be run from 9:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. We'll be at all of the Hy-Vees in Coralville, North Liberty, and Iowa City. We'll be at the Fairway locations as well. And we will have volunteers stationed at the entrances. We'll have shopping lists that we'll hand out, and the shopping lists have some of our top needed items for the folks that are staying in our shelter. So we encourage people to just pick up a couple of extra things as they're out and about doing their grocery shopping. It really makes a tremendous difference for the individuals that we serve in our emergency shelter. And like I said last time, the Lantern Park Coralville brought in the highest number of carts when we did our cart tally. So I personally would love to see that repeat this year as well. I'd also like to say a thank you to the Coralville Fire Department for their work on Saturday, putting out the fire on 2nd Street. And I want to say thank you to all of the other entities that helped and responded. Thankfully, no one was injured. We just appreciate, again, all of the work on that. And a nice segue into the firefighters chili supper that will be on October 16th. I don't remember the time off the top of my head. Ellen, do you know the time?
It's 4 to 8.
4 to 8, thank you. 4 to 8 p.m. And that will be just a great way to, a great kickoff for fall, going out and, getting a chili and connecting with their neighbors in the community. Lots of fun. Another exciting, very exciting development that I wanted to share is that beginning on October 25th, there will be a WIC clinic and in the Coralville Methodist Church. And there are some specific dates and times for that. I would encourage folks to check out the Johnson County Public Health website to learn more. But this is something that has been sorely needed in this community for a very, very long time. And I am just thrilled to see that we now have this location here. It'll be great with the food pantry opening. It'll be great to have both of those services on the same site. And so just, want to encourage folks to check that out. And thank you to everyone that helped make that possible. Also wanted to note that today is National Coming Out Day, and just want to reiterate to everyone, no matter what your identity is, no matter where you are in your journey, coming out, if you're not out, if you're still exploring, you are welcome in this community. We need you in this community. We want you in this community, and we support you. And, want to make sure that it is abundantly clear that all are welcome in the city of Coralville. And then I wanted to say happy birthday. I think we have some birthdays coming up. Hi. And Mitch. When's your birthday?
The 13th.
Okay. And when's yours, Mitch?
Tomorrow.
Okay, look at that. Do we need to sing happy birthday?
No.
Oh.
Me too.
Well, happy birthday. I hope that you both have wonderful celebrations and get some time to do something fun for yourself. So,
Thank you, Mayor.
yeah, that's all I have. City Attorney's report. Anything? Okay.
Nothing.
Awesome. Committee and council members report. We'll start down with Councilmember Knudsen.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Listening to IPR this morning, I heard an author, Annie Prulex or something like that. Fen, Bogs, and Swamp was the name of the book. Talks about the importance of maintaining fens and other wetland property and how important it is for global change. And it's like, I know what a fen is now.
Yeah.
Thanks to, and I appreciate the city's efforts in maintaining that fen in the new Westlands area. Really is important. Certainly want to thank the folks from Moms. Certainly would heartily support resolution related to public measure number 1. Certainly a huge step backward if that were to pass, in my opinion. And lastly, I got some information from Becky Soglin about the Inflation Reduction Act, and there are opportunities for 2022 still for citizens to take advantage of tax refunds and rebates mostly for home improvements and stuff like that. So encourage people to look into that. She's on the Johnson County Sustainability website. There should be information, and quite a bit of help is available because of the Inflation Reduction Act. And that's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Great. Thank you so much. Councilmember Gross.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'll be spending my birthday at parent-teacher conferences, so it's just what I wanted.
Well, that's fun. I'll bring you a cake or something.
Thank you, appreciate that. No, and I apologize for missing the moms, but interesting, I was at the school board meeting because West High School is doing a new addition, and part of that was making sure, unfortunately, that we have a safe vestibule that we don't have. So it's unfortunate that we as a society have to spend resources and time doing that, but that's where we are. But I'm also happy to say that the total project, even though it's not located in Coralville, and the majority of Coralville kids go to West, so the West High School that you'll see in 4 years will be a transformative structure than what it is right now. So we're very, very pleased about what was passed tonight. Regarding the CVB commission that I serve on, there's in the winter, I can't remember the exact date, there's going to be another massive World Wrestling Federation, not Federation, that's, yeah. Yes, I know, sure, yeah. But tournament, and what's cool is Ukraine will be one of the teams that has qualified. So, and hopefully men and women. The Iranians qualified for one, but they tend not to come here. So, for a lot of reasons. So we're hoping to have the Ukrainian men and women's team, which would be a pretty cool thing to showcase here in our community. And then finally, too, I do want to share, well, and what the mayor said too about coming out day, that was well said, so I won't add to that. But regarding the fire too, I want to give huge thanks to all of our responders. I guess I do have a question. I from a serious note, personal note, I have a student who was completely displaced and lost everything her family did. Is the city assisting? So the way I understand it, that they are in hotels right now, but at some point that will.
Yeah, the Emergency Management and the Red Cross worked with the displaced residents the night of the fire, and the Red Cross does work with them to try to find locations. The last I heard, several of them were able to work with their existing landlord, and he had some spots for them in another property. But I haven't gotten a recent update to know where the others have landed.
Okay, and have we landed on a cause yet?
We do not have a final cause, no.
Okay.
But the fire chief is pretty confident that it was accidental.
Okay. Yeah, and obviously there's no loss of human life. I do know several people, including my student, lost pets, so pets did succumb, unfortunately, in the fire. But thank you for all that responded, and thanks for that information, Ellen. That's all I have, Mayor.
All right. Councilmember Quinn.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few things tonight. The Community Ambassador Program, that is a program that born out of the partnership between the library and the food pantry, is still accepting application. And it's a program where we are trying to build bridges within the community. So in our larger Coralville community, we know that there are pockets of population in smaller community that for whatever reason, we can't reach through traditional information passing. So that is our goal. That is the program goal, is to identify those pockets and have a representative from those community that acts at a two-way street. So bring in information and resources from the larger Coralville community into those community, and then bring feedback and insight from that community to us, so that we can get resources and distribute information accordingly. We are still looking for people, so if you are interested and if you do live in one of those communities, please, I encourage you to apply. You can go to the Coralville Public Library and pick up a paper application, or go online under the Community Ambassador Program. You can fill out the application online, or call the library and ask for Samira, and she'll be able to walk you through all of the steps. We have identified 10 member of the program already, and we have an orientation this past Saturday. It was really good, but we need more, so please consider applying. Piggyback onto what Mayor said about WIC, we are really excited to finally have that service available in Coralville, although it won't happen in Coralville until the 25th, which seemed like a long time from now. But the first one closer to Coralville is in North Liberty, happened today. And then the next one is going to be on October 20th in North Liberty also. So WIC will be available by appointment only in Coralville on the 4th Tuesday of the month, and then in North Liberty on the 2nd Tuesday of the month, and the 3rd Thursday of the month. And we are working on bringing that service into Coralville one more time of the month. So hopefully we can make that available twice a month instead of just once a month. And there is a warm winter clothing distribution. It is not taking place in Coralville, but it is available to all Johnson County residents. It's going to be at the Geiling Center. It's from Wednesday to Saturday, October 19th to 22nd. And the time is from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And then on Saturday, it's going to be from 9 a.m. to noon. And because of COVID-19 and the rise, they are asking that one adult per family come to the center, but they'll be able to take home the appropriate amount of warm clothing for the entire family. So instead of bringing everybody in your family, just send one. It is by appointment only due to the limited number of clothing that they have. So you can sign up, and the sign up is available at Sign Up Genius. If you go to the county link, they'll have that, and you can make the appointment beginning October 3rd, which a week ago. So I just want to put that out there. And that is all I have. Thank you.
Awesome, thank you. Councilmember Jones.
Have a couple items. I had two very nice opportunities over the last few days. Last Friday, there was a open house ribbon cutting at the shelter in Rotary Camp Park. The shelter, if you haven't been up there, it's a very nice shelter. And the Rotary Camp Park, I think, is one of the hidden treasures of Coralville. It's very beautiful up there. And but it was a joint project between the City of Coralville, TACO, Take a Kid Outdoors, that organization, and the Coralville North Corridor Rotary Club, with also some assistance from the other Rotary clubs in Johnson County. And the mayor was there, Councilmember Goodrich was there, and Sherry was sort of in charge of the program, or at least putting everything together. But it's very nice, and I'd recommend taking a little walk up there. It's really beautiful. The second thing is, I had a very neat opportunity yesterday to attend the senior potluck that's held. That's a monthly event, right, Sherry? It's held monthly. And the reason, I'm a senior, so I could have been there, but the reason I was there is that they'd asked for a program on the food pantry, and John Bowler had a conflict and couldn't attend. So we met at the Methodist Church. They got a tour of the new pantry, and it was clear. I know that the senior potluck had to stop meeting for a while during the pandemic, and that when they started back up again, like many organizations, their numbers were a little slim, but they're starting to grow. I think there were maybe 16 non-staff people there yesterday, and a nice group of people. So I just encourage any residents that would be interested in participating in that to do that. It's a great group of people, and some fun programs and lots of great conversation. So.
Awesome, thank you. And finally, Councilmember Goodrich.
Yes, I will add to that. Something else that you're involved in, Keith, is the cemetery walk. And that is our first event for the 150-year celebration. And it will be a cemetery walk and stories on October 3rd. And the times are, you can go either 3 o'clock, 4, or 5 p.m. And Rex Brandstetter and City Council members Keith Jones will lead historic tour of personalities who are buried in the Coralville's Oak Hill Cemetery. So write that down on your calendar. Thanks.
What was the date of that again?
October 3rd.
30th.
30th,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I just want,
Thank you.
honestly,
Sunday. It's on a Sunday.
I wanted to know if it was close enough to Halloween, is it going to be a spooky walk?
That's
Well,
up to
the
Keith
5
and
o'clock
Rex.
walk will start, it'll be getting dark then.
Okay.
So that's in there purposely so that it can be maybe a little spooky. I don't
Okay.
know.
Can we come in costume?
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely, yeah.
It is the night before Halloween.
The dead may rise.
Right? It'll be fun. All right. Thank you all for those updates. I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Quinn, seconded by
Second.
Gross. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned.